is Classic FM.
You mentioned Leningrad. How important is the Leningrad Symphony to the history of St. Petersburg and the wider region? It's been reinterpreted, the inspiration for the symphony has been reinterpreted many times. What is your view on what it means?
It's certainly not about Hitler or Stalin. No, I think there is a irreplaceable strength and power in the human spirit. Human spirit, you can talk about one single person. Human spirit, you can talk about entire city. You know the story of St. Petersburg. 900 days or so, the city was suffocating because of a huge danger and being surrounded by German army, Nazi, the symbol of not only one country. St. Petersburg is a symbol of beauty in the world, as much as Venice or Florence or Rome. It's a very, very beautiful city. So there will be never a second city like St. Petersburg. There will be never a second city like Rome. It's not possible to create instead of city, which was to be destroyed practically. Something instead wouldn't come instead. It would be a great loss for billions of people, not only for a country. So Shostakovich was, of course, conscious of the fact that in 1942, 1941, even in December, and in 1943, there was this huge danger, and hundreds of thousands of people were dying. Just, they were hungry, they were frozen to death. But this city is going beyond describing any historical events. And I think this symphony, number 7, called Leningrad, he started to work on a symphony, big symphony, even before Second World War. He started his work. His understanding that there will be another symphony was shaping and formed, of course, even before Nazis attacked Leningrad. Of course, definitely his favorite city on earth. And he was born there. He heard most probably best performances for him in either Philharmonic Hall or Mariinsky, because the music of Wagner, his 15th symphony, offers Rossini, Wagner. He quotes, he takes from Götterdämmerung, or he takes from Guillermo Tell, just famous musical images. So it puts into his own last symphony. It's his childhood, it's his youth he revisits with Rossini and Wagner. So where you guess Rossini and Wagner performed? In the Mariinsky, of course. Stravinsky grew up in Mariinsky. His father was leading bass, Fyodor Ignatievich Stravinsky, leading friend of Tchaikovsky, leading bass singer, a great actor, not only great voice in the Mariinsky truppe. But Shostakovich wanted to make a statement different to his previous symphonies. He did not hear his symphony number 4 performed publicly. In 1936, he removed, the orchestra was given, a conductor was given the score, orchestra was given the material, orchestral material, but there was cancellation of this. Shostakovich himself decided not to play with fire. He also maybe didn't believe it would be performed so well. Conductor was Fritz Stidry, then much respected Austrian maestro, but maybe it was too much for him to go and take a new symphony of Dmitri Shostakovich, and such a complex symphony like number 4. By the way, one of my favorite compositions, of course. And then comes number 5, in many ways central to the cycle. Then comes Enigmatics, number 6, with maybe too many scherzos, one too many maybe. It looks like this symphony has two scherzos, but number 7 had to make yet another and contrasting statement. That's why huge orchestra, 8 horns, 6 trombones, 6 trumpets, and so on, percussion. Huge. He insists on maybe not 8 but 12 contrabassi. He insists on at least 20 or 22 first violins. So nearly doubled the size of the orchestra just to make maybe a very, very grand statement, but also maybe to go for maximum what one can try after Mahler in the genre of symphony. Every composer tries at least once, Mozart or Haydn tried many, many times. Beethoven famously only 9 times. So Shostakovich maybe didn't know if there would be 15. He didn't know if he will be alive in maybe a year or 2. The time was, people were disappearing. It was not the most rosy, atmosphere around him. So
every piece could be their last piece.
Correct. And that's why I think he also wanted, as a symphonist, let's forget about the fact that today we know he's one of the greatest ever. Where the symphony, we have maybe golden list, where Haydn, Mozart, Beethoven will start the list, but then certainly we'll have the Brahms, who certainly will have Tchaikovsky, will have, but then there will be not that many. And Shostakovich will go very, very high on this list. If we don't go chronologically, he'll be very, very high. Maybe in a way sharing with Mahler some kind of important, very important place. And it's difficult to compare Haydn symphonies and Mahler symphonies, and we don't have to, but we have to know why we love Haydn, why we love Shostakovich. That's more important, I think. And I have to know certainly why I go and conduct symphonies like Shostakovich Symphony No. 7. I believe in his link to Johann Sebastian Bach. I believe when the entire universe, or certainly entire planet Earth, was in danger, he maybe wanted to think the same way and maybe speak the language of Bach. That's why his 3rd movement is so, let's say, deeply rooted in the music of maybe 17th, 18th centuries. And I'm talking about music before Haydn started his compositions. So that's my understanding. Then his incredible ability using huge orchestra and create a lot of intimate moments and deeply touching, and also one can use the word tragic. Tragedy in music or musical compositions is not what comes easily every day or on every page, certainly not. He was able to create this sense of tragedy. He was able to do it.